Hi everyone, Misty Thompson here, spiritual coach. So today in this video I want to talk about ways that we need to prepare ourselves for the end of times. And to be more specific, 6 ways that we can prepare ourselves. Now, of course, nobody knows when that day is going to happen. We just don't know, and that's how it's meant to be. But at the same time, there's been so much I've seen online and just in the news and all of this about spiritual awakening happening. Some say it's due to the Charlie Kirk assassination. So yeah, it's just like there's been a whole awakening. Also with that, I've felt this myself, is the spiritual warfare that's going on. It just seems that evil is becoming more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just more in your face, ready to fight, not even hiding it anymore. Evil is working through people to make even the people who maybe are only marginally spiritual. But evil is making its way to make these individuals, the ones who are on their spiritual path, very uncomfortable in situations, or just making things difficult for people. And it's just nuisance things for me. I mean, I find that my computer's been acting very strange the last few days. Well, actually, a few weeks now that I think about it, last week as well. So it's just a good reminder that we should be prepared for the end of times all the time, every day. Now, we're human. We use that as an excuse a lot, but it's the truth. So we do make mistakes, and we do end up catching ourselves in these mistakes, because we know when we're messing up. But doesn't mean that we're doomed. It just means we need to recalibrate ourselves, our minds, our energy. So with that, I want to go over 6 ways that I have found that we need to prepare for the end of times. And know that I got these when I meditate. For those of you who know me, you know this, but or those who have been my clients in the past. So when I pray and then I meditate. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. So it's a 2-way conversation. So when I meditated this morning, in fact, I received, I call it a download, that this is a topic I need to go over. I need to discuss it. I need to use the resources that I've created to bring that together and do a video about it. So this is why I'm here talking about this. So again, we're going to go over 6 ways to prepare ourselves for the end of times. Now, before I get into the actual ways, I do want to bring this up to you. Because some people will be like, oh yeah, right, whatever. But again, we need to be ready at all times. But say the doctor says to you, you have 6 months to live. And this is going to be 6 months to a year to live. So what would you do? Would you just sit back and just like, oh, well, whatever. The doctor said 6 months to a year, but I'm not even going to listen to him. I'm just going to I've got plenty of time. And then all of a sudden you realize you don't have plenty of time. So isn't it better to get your affairs in order? And then if you end up living longer than a year, well, that's great, right? So I kind of relate to it. Not that it's the same, but it's kind of the same concepts. So when we are getting prepped for, say, you have 6 months to a year to live, example, we do prepare ourselves. We would prepare ourselves mentally, like get in that frame of mind, like not like poor me, I'm going to die, but just in that frame of mind that I need to be focused on this and aware. We would get ready for this in a physical way. Of course, our body would get ready for it in a physical way. Our emotions, we may cry, we may laugh. We don't know how we can control our emotions, because if it was me, I'd be up and down, up and down. Wouldn't even matter. But would you be spiritually ready? And I think people forget that part of it. It just seems easy to forget. So just keep that in mind as well. So the first way, well, before I get started with that, just know that when I give you a way to prepare yourself for the end of times, a lot of times there's going to be a lot of little pieces underneath that. I'm just going to go over the bigger part of it, and maybe in another video I'll kind of break them up and do them individually. But so there is a lot to it, and I have a lot of resources for this too. So I'm like, oh, that'd be a lot. So I think I'm going to break each one down individually. But for this video, I'm just going to go over the 6 ways, okay? So the first way is daily habits. Do you have a daily routine when it comes to your spiritual self? I personally do. I know at least my clients have been taught how I have my my routine, my daily routine. And this incorporates prayer and meditation. It incorporates journaling, reading something inspirational, and grounding and surrounding. So those are how I do my daily routine. And, again, I will go over this in depth in a separate video. So the second way I'm going to suggest that you use to prep yourself for the end of times is to become knowledgeable, or at least research your way. So someone's not like just telling you like this, but read the book of Revelation. Read it, study it, do all of that. That gives the ground level there. It tells you what's going to happen for the end of times, so that way you can recognize that. There might be like little tidbits there that might help you understand, or you might want to expand more on it. So I would definitely read the book of Revelation. So the next way I would recommend how you can prepare for the end of times is to connect with the angels. I would ask the angels for clear signs, symbols on what you can look for. And when you have that connection with the angels, you'll be able to ask questions, get answers. We all have a spirit team. However, we have to ask for their help. They are completely available, but we have free will. You all know this. So because we have free will, they can't just intervene. We have to request their presence and request that they help us. So just realize connecting with the angels is a way to prepare for the end of times. So the next way is to enhance your faith. How do you get more faith? How do you realize or actually trust in God, Jesus? How, so how do you go about doing that? So enhancing your faith can maybe seem a little intimidating or difficult to do. It really isn't. But when you do that, you will trust the universe, trust God, trust Jesus, that it's all going to work out, it's all going to be okay, and that you will know what you need to do when you need to do it. So the next way is a big one. I probably should have put it last. Not that these are in order, but the next one is forgiveness. Just saying it makes my heart drop because that's a big ask. It's really hard to do. But at the same time, it really isn't hard to do. It's just when somebody has wronged you and you keep going over it over and over and over, you just can't stop thinking about whatever it is. And it's not easy just releasing what happened or the situation, whatever it is. Forgiveness is hard. And I know in my other videos and when I talk to my clients, I truly believe this, forgiveness and grief are two things that us as humans, I feel those are the two most difficult things to do. So, I'm sure everyone knows this, but it's a good reminder. Just know that forgiveness isn't a reason to say, yep, I believe them, I'm okay with what they did. No, it's not any of that. Because forgiveness is that you give it to God, you recognize it, you release that resentment. It's hard to do because when you're deeply hurt, it definitely hurts and it definitely stays hurt for a long time. And it will still hurt. So, as you know. So that is one, is forgiveness. And yeah, it is a big ask, but I would recommend doing that, to prepare for the end of times. Okay, the last way to prepare yourselves for the end of times is to release your fears. It is hard to do when we're scared of the unknown. We don't know what to expect. It's scary. It definitely is scary. It can be scary. So learning to release that fear can be a little challenging because for me, when I hang on to that fear, it's kind of like, I know this might sound weird, but I'm hanging on to my security blanket when I think of that. We want to hang on to that fear because we would just feel better being in fear and instead of releasing it. Sometimes it feels as though if we release the fear, it's just something that we don't care about, and that's not true either. So releasing fear can be a hard one, but again, I would definitely recommend it because you don't want to go through your life hanging on to fear of something. It's unnecessary. The energy behind it is not good. So releasing your fears is the last one. So that's the last reason or the last way to prepare ourselves for the end of times. So those are the 6 ways that I have determined that I will be sharing with my clients that is important on ways that we can prepare for the end of times. So again, I'm going to go over these. I'll do a video on each one and kind of expand a little bit more on them. So like I said, a lot of them based on what I've created for my clients, it kind of goes a little bit deeper than just that, like, release your fears. It's a little bit more complicated than that. But if you found that this was useful, I would really, really appreciate if you could smash the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. I really want to get messages out regarding spiritual growth, your spiritual journey, and topics like I talked about today. So I would be so appreciative if you would do that. I also have several different groups on Facebook and Instagram, or I will put those all in the description area. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I will be checking the comments, and I'd be happy to answer any of the questions that you present to me. So I look forward to talking with you next time. I'm sending you all so much love and light. Bye. Have a good one.